Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, MBC Lifestyles Diary. My name is Marie. I live in New York. I love traveling, cooking and entertaining, going to cultural events, and fashion. And I'm asking you to join me on the adventure. Today is day 3 of my transatlantic journey from Miami, Florida to Spain. This is going to be our first cruise since the COVID restrictions have been lifted. And I have to tell you, I forgot what regular cruising is all about. So when we cruised during the COVID restrictions, the ships were only allowed to be 1/3 to half capacity. So you had these large ships cruising at half capacity. And I have to tell you, it was pretty nice. There was never a line, nothing was ever crowded, everybody was pretty mellow. What else? They had certain things implemented, like you got free room service for breakfast. It was a limited continental meal, but it was free. When you disembarked, you got to stay in your room till checkout. The whole checking in process was a lot easier because there were fewer people to move around. And let me tell you, I got a rude awakening on this cruise. We boarded at Miami. It was total chaos. Yes, I said it. There were huge amounts of lines, which is one of the things I hate the most about cruising, is how these ships board. Then once we got on board, the ships had full capacity. So everywhere you went, there was a line. There was a line for breakfast. There's a line for lunch. There's a line for dinner. Room service you're now being charged for. What else? That's basically my biggest pet peeve. Now that I've listed the cons, let me list the pros. There's a ton of activities going on the ship. Oh, right, and that's another thing. So knowing that I've been traveling during COVID times and that this is how it's functioning because the ship is not at full capacity, that was one of the reasons why I chose a transatlantic cruise. Because if you Google it and you look it up, it's just always saying that these ships are not full, that most people can't spend that much time at sea. So you're thinking, okay, we're back to regular cruising, but the transatlantic ships are not full like the typical ones. And they told you to be careful, don't expect great entertainment because the ship is not going to spend that type of money to carry, a whole cast and crew all the way to Spain. So you come pretty prepared for a mellow trip. Well, lo and behold, ship's full. They have a lot of entertainment. And we were speaking to people that have, we spoke to a couple that has done at least 10 transatlantic crossings, and they're like, what are you kidding? These ships sell out. Sell out. Okay. Explains the crowds. But as I said before, the nice thing about it is that you don't feel like you have to work. You don't feel like you have to do everything on the ship before it's time to get off. It's the gift of time, and knowing, since you've cruised before, you know everything that a cruise has to offer, and you pick and choose, or you can just sit on your balcony if you want, veg out in your room. There's no anxiety about getting ready for port of call because you've got 10 days at sea. I do appreciate the fact that the entertainment is still lively, like they're still putting on the full production of Hairspray. Last night we went to see a comedian ventriloquist They do still have that whole big aqua theater production that they do with the professional divers. But unfortunately, because there's too much movement on the ship, they were unable to perform. But now that I've said that there was movement, so far we've experienced just a gentle, rocking because you're on a ship moving. And the gentle rocking is very soothing at night. Um, Part of the things that they do, I don't know whether it's on purpose or not, but in order to move the lines, they'll ask you to join tables. So my husband and I usually just like to eat alone, but the other day for lunch, they were like, okay, if you will sit together, you'll be seated right away. So we ended up sitting with three couples, and it was nice. You got to talk, you got to find out other people's travel experiences. So it was forced socialization, um, but it worked out well because the people were interesting. Um, how could they not be interesting? They love traveling. Uh, People have gone around the world and experienced many different things. You get to get a different cultural perspective. And on this transatlantic, we're finding that there are a lot of Europeans. It seems primarily Germans and people from Spain. But this couple two of the couples we were with traveled from Mexico. And their itinerary was to land in Barcelona and then continue on to Italy and go to the Amalfi Coast. And the other couple, that's two of them, the other couple where they were going to land in Barcelona and go to Amsterdam. So it was nice to share our travel itineraries and what we've experienced before. So, and as you can see, we're on our balcony. We're overlooking Central Park. And yes, looking at the ocean is beautiful, but for me, I felt like this might be my first Atlantic cruise. I kind of wanted to see outside, but not see too much of the ocean. At this point, I felt like that was kind of a silly decision because the water is so soothing. So next time it'll probably be an ocean view.